So many places in Sarasota I think are best experienced in the evening. One such place is right next to me, Artovation Hotel. Come take a look. You're not only an artist here locally, but you serve a much bigger role here in town, and something that's certainly something that should be celebrated. So tell me, beyond the art, what do you do?
I'm also a battalion chief with the fire department. Over 26 years serving the community.
Very cool. And so art has been a thing in your blood for a long time, but you just kind of rekindled that just a few years ago, correct?
Absolutely. Like many of us, I kind of put that off. You know, like one of these days I'm going to be an artist. When I started my career at the fire department, I'm also I'm an artist, a musician, and a chef, amongst many other things. I play guitar, write music, I sculpt, obviously paint. But many years ago, I was supposed to be an artist on my days off. Life happened. Next thing you know, 26 years later, I'm like, oh, one of these days, and it never happened. So finally I said, hey, one of these days, today's day one, and I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And I think a lot of people out there are. It seems the demand is ever increasing for the artwork, and I can see why. It's exceptional stuff. When people ask you what your style is, how do you explain it to people?
I don't like to box myself in, which is probably a common response.
Sure.
I do a lot of different styles, pop art, street art, abstract realism. Typically, people can identify my art with bright and bold colors and use of texture. I sculpt with paint, so I have a unique paint application method that kind of makes me kind of stand out, I think, and sometimes with that type of art. But I do so many different styles of art.
I can appreciate
my own flair.
I always tell people, look at the Instagram. You got some great stuff on there.
Thank you very much.
So I've met some locals, Dan, since I've moved here, but you are more local than anybody I know. So with that, how long has your family been here? And conversely, what do you think people must do when they come to Southwest Florida and Sarasota specifically?
Those are great questions. So if you look around at some of these buildings, some of my family actually helped to build some of these buildings many years ago. I'm actually a 6th generation Florida native, 4th generation Sarasota native. And to answer your question regarding what to do, I mean, we're famous for our beaches. Siesta Key Beach, Lido Beach. You got to hit up the Ringling Museum, the Katazan, the Circus Museum. It's incredible. And then, here, Artovation Hotel. We got some beautiful hotels, just lots of things to do, which is pretty much why I see so many people moving here. When you look at what does it take to make you happy? A sense of fulfillment, that Maslow's hierarchy of needs, self-actualization, in my case, achieved through creative self-expression. And I think the majority of us as human beings have some sense of wanting for expressing ourselves creatively, whether that's with playing guitar or writing music, playing piano, cooking, acting, comedy, whatever it is, that thing that you're like, one of these days I'm going to do it. Please make today day one. Do it. I promise you won't regret it. You'll be the happiest you've ever been in your life.
So for anybody who's interested in finding out more about you, your art, commissioning a piece, purchasing a piece, where do you suggest that they go?
My website, which is www.artistdanrankin.com. They can find me, Artist Dan Rankin, on Instagram and also Facebook.
I'd like to thank Dan for talking to us about his artwork and his work that he does on the fire department. And the next episode of Why Sarasota, we're still going to be here at Artovation speaking to the amazing musical guest that was performing this evening. Stick around.